welcome back to Alternative Taste Buds.
Welcome back. Sorry, we haven't been posting anything in our channel as it is summertime in our part of the world.
Yes, we've been so busy juggling with work, outdoor activities, and some gatherings.
We are very excited to share with you one of our favorite recipes.
Have you guys heard of the popular Filipino dessert called Sansrival?
Yes, Sansrival is a meringue cake that is covered with buttercream and typically dressed with nuts.
The nuts of choice is normally cashews because it's cheaper. However, to make it low-carb version, we will use almonds or macadamias.
Make sure to use macadamia or almonds for this recipe as they are low in carb but higher in fat content. So we hope you will watch this video from beginning all the way until the end. It's a little lengthy as we try to go in great detail explaining every single step.
Yes, this is a very complicated recipe for beginner bakers, but trust me, this is really worth it to try.
So I guess enough talking. Let's get baking! Let us first make our meringue. We will need 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar, half a cup of egg whites or approximately 4 large egg whites, 1/3 cup of granulated erythritol, and half a cup of semi-fine grounded, unsalted toasted almonds. We decided to use roasted almonds for this recipe because we want to give it that bold toasted taste, as well as to add more crunch and texture into the cake. To roast our almonds, we took a baking sheet, lined it with parchment paper, and baked our raw almonds at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes.
Once our toasted almonds has cooled down, we can then ground it up in a food processor. Pulse carefully and do not overgrind, as you don't want to turn your almonds into almond flour. Divide your bowl of almonds into half, wherein you will have bigger chunks of almonds, which we will use to dress our cake. We will also have slightly finer grinded almonds to use for our buttercream, like this one.
Take a couple of cookie sheets and turn them so the bottom faces you. We only did this because we will be drawing on these baking sheets using a felt pen, and we don't really care if we damage the bottom of them. Line them up with a couple of parchment paper. Using a 6-inch saucer, trace around it using a felt pen or a pen. This will give a nice circular outline for when we bake our cake. If you haven't guessed yet, we will be doing a circular Sansrival cake. You can certainly do any shape you like. Tell us in the comment section, what is the shape of your Sansrival?
Lightly coat the bottom of the pans with a bit of oil or a cooking spray. Now, take your parchment paper and flip it so that the felt pen side faces down and stick it onto the bottom of the pan. Finally, we can make our meringue. Hopefully, you guys are still with us. Take your egg whites and cream of tartar and beat them slowly in your mixer. Make sure that your egg whites are in room temperature.
Gradually increase the speed until your egg becomes foamy. Once your eggs and cream of tartar mixture is foamy, you can slowly add your erythritol. Take note not to add all the erythritol all at once, as doing so will deflate the bubbles from the egg and you might end up with a paper-like or flat meringue, which is no good aesthetically, and you might end up with an unstable meringue. Increase the speed to about medium-high and mix thoroughly until you get a nice, soft marshmallow-like consistency. Remember, you aren't going for stiff peak. If you reach this consistency, then you have gone way too far.
Now, take your finer grounded almonds and fold it together with your meringue. Like so. Again, be careful not to overstir as you might deflate the air bubbles from the egg whites. It's time to preheat our oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit.
Take a piping bag with a round tip. The tip is optional and you can just use a piping bag by cutting the tip approximately 2 centimeters. You can actually not even use a piping bag and pour in the batter using a spatula instead. We just found it easier to distribute the batter evenly using the piping bag method. Now, with your piping bag filled with the meringue, draw a circular shape around our outline. Start with the outer circle, then a smaller circle, and work your way inside like so. Don't worry if it's not perfect. The main thing is we are distributing an even amount of batter into the circle. Repeat the process 3 more times.
Take an icing spatula and evenly spread out the batter in order to create an evenly flat surface. Our meringue is ready to go in the oven. Bake them for about 30 to 35 minutes. While our meringue is baking, let's start to make the buttercream. For this recipe, we will need a cup of softened butter, half a cup of lakanto sweetener, 1/4 cup of water, 2 egg yolks, and 1 whole egg.
In a small saucepan, pour in the lakanto sweetener and water. Slightly stir it together, turn the heat on medium, and wait for the sugar to completely dissolve. As we are waiting for our syrup to boil, start beating the eggs at very low speed.
Once the sugar has completely dissolved, increase the fire to high heat. Using a candy thermometer, ensure the syrup reaches 235 to 240 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it reaches 240 degrees Fahrenheit, drizzle the syrup onto the eggs while it is beating on low speed. This ensures that our eggs are safe to eat. After you have completely poured in your syrup, increase the speed of the mixer to medium speed and continue beating for another 3 to 5 minutes. You should get a lot of foam. It is time to stop when it looks like this. It should be light pale yellow and thick in consistency. Cover this with a cling wrap and place it in the fridge for another 30 minutes to 1 hour to chill.
Our meringue is ready. Take them out of the oven and allow it to cool. Don't they look gorgeous? Your meringue should look something like this. It should be slightly golden brown with the edges sort of toasty and the middle still soft. Allow to cool in the baking sheet for 5 to 10 minutes. This will allow our meringue to harden a bit and it will be cool enough for us to handle. Slowly peel them off the parchment paper like this.
Now, back to our buttercream. Hopefully you guys are still keeping up. Take the buttercream out of the fridge and beat it at a low speed. Now, take our softened butter and gradually add them piece by piece. We sped up the process because we don't want you guys to fall asleep. But this process should be slow and steady. Take your time with it. Note that your mixture may look crumbly like this, but don't panic. Continue to add in the softened butter. And once you have added all of your butter, increase the beating speed to high. Beat it for another 5 to 7 minutes until it turns smooth and fluffy, like this.
This is a good time to grab some graham cookies and start dunking on this. Trust me, this frosting is hella addicting. Make sure you have a lot of mind control to stop yourself from indulging too much.
Hey, I think we forgot something.
Oh, that's right, we use authentic Mexican vanilla. This is our secret ingredient that only our subscribers would know. Don't tell anyone. Shh.
Whip it some more, and this looks like it's about done.
We finally made it. It is time to assemble our Sansrival. If you made it this far, you are definitely enjoying this video. Please consider subscribing to our channel so you don't miss amazing recipes like this. Take a cake board, spread a dollop of frosting and spread it. Put in the first layer of meringue. Spread a couple of tablespoons of frosting on top, like so, and spread it evenly. Spread it like cream cheese. Make sure you cover the meringue completely, but don't use up all of your frosting. Doesn't this make your mouth water?
Take your crushed, roasted almonds and lightly sprinkle it on top of the meringue. Take another layer of your meringue and spread a small amount of frosting and put it on top of the other meringue. Repeat the process. Keep building your layers until it looks like this.
Now take some frosting and begin to cover the outside of the cake. It is here that we realize we have a cake turner. Use it if you have it, as it makes life a little easier.
Oh yes! Have fun with this. Take a cake scraper and scrape around the cake to ensure you are evenly spreading the frosting. Finally, use up the remaining toasted almonds to cover the sides of the cake, like this.
And if you want to get fancy like my wife and feeling adventurous, you can pipe some designs around the edges of the cake. This is completely optional. Lastly, you can finish decorating the top of your cake with the remaining almonds.
And that's it! Our low-carb keto-friendly Sansrival is done. Make sure you put this in the fridge for a couple of hours to allow the buttercream to settle.
Yo, thank you for making it right until this point. So this is our finished product.
You get to try it now. This is our low-carb, keto-friendly Sansrival.
Alright, let's try this. So it breaks apart like a real Sansrival. It tastes like the real Sansrival.
It's not too sweet. I think it's just really perfect. The icing is really good.
There's a lot of crunch, as you would expect, and sweet at the same time.
Thank you for joining us in our kitchen, and we hope you try this in your own home.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more upcoming content.
Please feel free to drop us any questions, comments, or suggestions on what other recipes you'd like to see next.
That's right. So until the next one, take care. Peace.